Well, some Democrats are distancing themselves from Hasan Piker. This after the far-left streamer suggested Jewish Americans who back Israel are inviting violence on themselves.
People don't with Israel any longer. And if Jews in America keep putting this idea out there that they are singularly invested in Israel, eventually someone's going to come around and take action, not against the state of Israel, mind you, but against American Jews.
My next guest responding on X, writing, "The only one inciting violence against American Jews is Piker and his rhetoric. For the future of our party, Democrats have to call out his hate and condemn these dangerous views." And that's Congressman Josh Gottheimer. He's a Democrat out of New Jersey. Great to have you here.
Thanks,
Hakeem Jeffries, the Democratic leader in the House, sort of addressed this yesterday on X. He was just asked about it by Wolf Blitzer at CNN. Let's play that for you here.
Was that in reference to far-left influencer Hasan Piker and his recent very controversial comments?
Yes, those comments were dangerous, malicious, and anti-Semitic, and should not be tolerated by anyone in the public square. What we've seen is a startling rise of hate crimes all across the United States of America, but particularly in this moment, directed against our Jewish brothers and sisters.
Congressman, does that answer the mail on this issue?
Well, obviously, I couldn't agree more with Hakeem Jeffries, and he's totally right that not only is it appalling and disgusting, but basically Hasan Piker, who is, got more than 1 million or so followers on Twitch and has campaigned with Democrats around the country, has basically put an open call out for violence against Jewish Americans, those who, of course, have come out and supported the U.S.-Israel relationship. This is right out of the Nazi playbook. This is a call for violence against Jews. I'm glad that Leader Jeffries came out strongly against it. I hope that all my colleagues on both sides come out against it. Mike Lawler and I we introduced a resolution months ago condemning Hasan Piker and Candace Owens. I hope that that's brought to the floor when we're back next week. It's time we said enough's enough with this kind of blatant hatred against anyone.
El Sayed out of Michigan had a response to the Piker comment. He said this: "Anti-Semitism is a scourge, and we need to address it in all its forms. And I stand against any rhetoric that puts the community at risk. Nobody speaks for this campaign besides me and my campaign spokespeople." A guest last hour pointed out that El Sayed was with Piker on election night when the primary was
Correct.
being held. And now he's just saying, well, he's just some guy.
Yeah, El Sayed's response was pathetic, and it did not answer the call. I mean, the bottom line is he did not condemn Piker. He didn't even mention Piker. He didn't condemn what Piker said. He didn't say, "I'll never campaign with this guy again." As you pointed out, he campaigned the last night of his primary. This isn't such some random guy for him. And frankly, he should not only condemn him, but no Democratic members should allow Piker anywhere near them on the campaign trail. They should know nothing to do with this guy. And, anybody who does, frankly, and has not condemned them, bears responsibility for somebody's comments like that. You cannot allow this kind of rhetoric to go out there. And I feel like what's sad is in the Michigan delegation, and remember, these comments were directed against State Senator Moss, who will likely be a colleague of mine next year in Congress. It was targeted at him. The only person in the entire Michigan delegation on the Democratic side to say anything was Hillary Scholten, who's a representative from Michigan, who heroically went out there and said something. The rest of crickets, they said nothing. And I think, every member of Congress should come out and say, Hasan Piker, you're not welcome here. Your anti-American views, what Piker has said. He didn't just call Jews pig dogs, but this is a guy who said 9/11 was America's fault. He has praised Mao Zedong and Lenin. He's said that going after Iran with sanctions makes no sense. This is not a guy who any of us should embrace.
Let me read to you something that he said yesterday, and I'll get a last question to you on this. Piker said, "Do not let a coordinated Republican smear campaign become reality. My argument against the dangerous false conflation between Zionism and Judaism, which in turn increases anti-Semitism, is now turned on its head." And this is the part I wanted you to address, Josh. He says, Zionism is not Judaism. Anti-Zionism is not anti-Semitism. And I think that is trying to make a distinction there that is not reality.
This is a guy who's come out strongly against Jews over and over again. And let me be clear, Dana, when you have in New York City people attacking synagogues, when you've got people going after and boycotting Jewish businesses, not only does that nothing to do with Israel or Zionism, that's just plain old anti-Semitism. Hasan Piker is an anti-Semite. It is what it is, and I don't think he would even claim otherwise. He tries to slice the words up. At the end of the day, that's what he is. Nobody should be anywhere near this guy. No one should campaign with him. No one should repost him. And frankly, anyone who is quiet right now is complicit. Everyone should come out against this guy, and we should vote to condemn him when we get back to Congress. Again, Mike Lawler and I have a resolution. I'm hoping that Republican leaders should bring it to the floor so we can stand up to him and to people like Candace Owens who are spewing hate across the board.
Josh Gottheimer is a congressman from New Jersey. Thanks for being here today.
Thank you so much.
Be sure to like and subscribe for all the Fox News latest on YouTube and catch full shows streaming now on Fox One.